I need you guys to promise me you won't hold whatever I'm going to say today against me. Promise me. Pablo, you do the intro.
Yo.
So me and my friend Elvis went on a trip to France for our first cubing competition. What happened there was... it's probably the dumbest thing I ever done. But let's rewind time a bit and talk about how we ended up in that car in the first place. A few months earlier, we had finals at school, and I don't know about you guys, but I always get distracted when I have to study. During those finals, I found an old Rubik's Cube I got for Christmas, and I knew how to solve it, but I was just really bad at it. So I bought my first speed cube from thecubicle.com. I received the cubes a few days later, or a few weeks. It's Europe after all. It was this white Waylong version 1. Oh, nostalgia. Anyways, I got obsessed with it. Watching tutorials, practicing every day. Like, I remember even practicing in my bathtub. Yeah, it was crazy. But anyways, back at school, I obviously wanted to show off my new talent. So I did. Everyone was super impressed by my cubing skills, you know? And my friend Elvis noticed that. His name wasn't really Elvis, by the way. He was just a great singer. Although he was really buff and short. A short, buff Elvis. Elvis noticed how cool I suddenly was, and he wanted to be just like me. So I did what every good friend would do, and I gave him my old cube. And now we both got obsessed with cubing. And people hated us for that, but no wonder. We were like cubing all the time in classes, and it was horrible. Like, I remember having to give my cube to a teacher when entering the class. And that's pretty embarrassing, being like a 17-year-old man and having to give your toy to the teacher. Anyway, surprisingly enough, we both passed finals. Barely, but we passed. So we wanted to celebrate, and since we only cared about cubing, we thought, let's do a cubing competition. The problem was that if we wanted to stay in Belgium and do a competition there, then we had to wait like 2 months or something like that. We didn't have time for that. But we saw that there was a cubing competition in France just 2 weeks from now. And that's where it all started. So back to the future, we were in the car with a tent, our girlfriends, and a cake. Yeah, there was this weird option that you could donate a cake to the venue, and my friend baked the cake, so we brought a cake to the venue. So 10 hours driving later, we arrived at the camping. I never camped before, so I thought that we would end up in some woods full of bears and having to go to the toilet in a bucket. But the actual place was like super cozy and chill. Like, it was really cool. I remember the night being awesome. However, the next day was competition day. So we drove there, and I remember feeling like a rock star when we arrived there. In my car, hand on the wheel, my head on backwards, fully ready to give a rock concert, you know? In reality, we were just about to twist the puzzle and a judge would write down our times. Anyways, the venue was a pretty modern building out of redstone. Not like the Minecraft redstone, but just red stones. So we walked into the venue and it turned out to be this outside competition, which was pretty cool actually. We just installed ourselves on the grass while my friend Elvis was giving the cake to the venue and did some warm-up souls while the competition was happening in front of us. It was really cozy. And the competition was just like how you would imagine a cubing competition to be like. It was a pretty unique experience. I also remember Antoine Cantin being there. He was at the time probably one of the fastest one-handed solvers, and I remember me and my friend Elvis were just like, dude, that's Antoine, look how fast he can turn with just one hand, you know, acting like it was Ronaldo standing in front of us. So as 3x3 began, the only event we signed up for, we started to get pretty nervous, at least I did. So I was there like getting awful times and I was like, am I the only one? So I looked over to my friend Elvis and he was fully panicking. It was breathing super weird, like dropping his cube, getting horrible times. Like, it was not going well for him. It relaxed myself to know that he was having a harder time than myself. Oh, I just thought of something super stupid. So to calm himself down, he wanted to get himself a snack, but the only thing they had was a cake. The cake he brought. So he was like, oh, can I have a piece of cake? I donated that cake. And they were like, it's $2. He literally paid for a piece of cake that he just donated. But a few moments before it was our turn, there was this kid in front of us who had to do his solve. And I remember it so clearly just because of the way he looked at us. It was like so intimidating. He looked at us dead in the eye and then did the craziest solve ever. It was probably way below sub 10. Dropped down the cube, looked at us dead in the eye once again. And we were like, what the hell just happened? Elvis stood up, got to the side of the venue and was like, "Yo, Milan, I gotta show you something." So I was pretty confused. I got up to him and he was like, "Let's get out of here. Did you see that kid? I don't want to embarrass myself in front of all these kids." To which I responded, "Hey man, I know you're stressed, but we went here to have fun. Let's just enjoy the next few minutes and not pressuring ourselves. No one cares about our times. Let's just end this in a fun way." I wish I said that. Instead I said, "Yes, let's get the f out of here." So we got to the car, starting to get messages from our girlfriends going crazy like, "Oh, you're being called up. You have to go to the venue right now. What are you doing?" Yes, that's how they sound. Well, we just ignored that because we were too stressed and trying to think of excuses to make. We didn't know what to do. And then our girlfriends got to the car, opened the door and were like, "Are you guys really planning to leave a competition we just drove 10 hours for?" We didn't settle on an excuse yet, so we were just like, Nah, we're just taking a break. Like clearly lying way too hard. We let our girlfriends promise us that they won't tell anyone ever. And we didn't tell anyone. Never. Ever. Until now. To my whole fan base. So back at home, everyone asked me, "How did your competition go?" And I was like, Great. It was fantastic. I got away with that because people didn't ask many questions. No one cared about cubing at home, you know? And Elvis? He quit cubing. I guess it took a toll on him. Just ignore that it's another day right now. So me on the other hand, I kept practicing cubing because I just loved it so much. And a few months later, I went to the competition in Belgium and I left that one as well. No, I met a lot of people, I had a lot of fun, and I think just talking with people was the best thing I could do because I realized that everyone had competition nerves. Maybe not as bad as we did, but it ended up being just fine. I even got this certificate, which says that I was the fastest newcomer at the competition. Little did they know that I actually left my first competition. So I guess the thing you can take from this video is that I will see you in the next video. Ciao. And guys, I know it says third place right here, but I swear to God, this is wrong. I was first. Ciao.